What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream. Happy Tuesday, people. And Champions League football is back tonight. Arsenal are back tomorrow. And we're going to get into the news, people. No press conference reaction, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Maybe a good thing, to be honest. But Champions League, so you don't get the press conference until later on in the evening. So, yeah, we're not going to get a press conference reaction. Maybe we'll do one tomorrow. Obviously, the game is at 5:45 tomorrow, so I'll be live at 4:45. But maybe we'll go live at 1:30. Do we want to do press conference reaction? Let's see. We'll get into it. Big up to everyone locked in, though. Make sure you do me a favor. Hit the like button. Hype up the video as well if you're watching it on playback, man. It massively helps. They seem to really be pushing this hype button. If if you get a lot of hypes, they promote your content a lot more. So yeah, make sure you do that, people. Yeah, my light is messing around. I don't know what's happened with it, but we'll make it work, people. We will make it work. Yeah, man was betting in the comments saying I'm going to be 7 minutes late. What did I get? 2 minutes or what was that? 31, I think I got here. 1 minute late. Gid said, Big C, told you nothing was wrong with Trossard. He didn't fancy it. But I told you. I said the same thing. I said the same thing. Would you take a draw tomorrow? Nah. No, 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 no. I want 3 points. Well, I say 3 points, actually. It's not 3 points. I want a win. You know what I mean? I want to win. Big up Kamal, who said, big up C. Big love from the Arsenal community in South Africa. Big up your damn self in South Africa. Big up Elk, who said, big up Curtis and the legendary community. Clean card, big up C in the community. Hope everyone in the world is safe in these crazy times. You know, one thing I've realised nowadays is stay in your house. Stay in your house. Not all the time. You got to go out and explore, go on holiday, hit the beach. But when you're in your house, do you know what I mean? You know the madness can't go off too much when you're in the house. Do you know what I mean? Outside is where the problems are. People are crazy nowadays, man. Do you know what I mean? People are crazy nowadays. You go outside, all kinds of madness goes on, you know. But yeah, it is what it is. Stay in your house, you're good. You know what I mean? You're good. We got a few things to talk about, people. Let's see what's going on. I had a nightmare this weekend. Ting flew out from Brum to Tenerife to Linkman. Left 2 days early. Missed the Mansfield game. Well, you didn't miss much. You know, the game wasn't great, so I wouldn't say and left 2 days. Yeah, don't worry. Keep it moving, man. The game wasn't great anyway. Big up yourself, man. You know what I mean? And we should get through the next round. Big up STU said, big up C out here in New Jersey. Silent listener for ages. I love it when the silent listeners come out, you know. It's a safe space, people. It's a safe space. You're good. We're shameless here. Big up George, who said, hello, Curtis. Currently on holiday in Orlando. Oh, man. Perfect weather, maybe too perfect. We'll be tuning in tomorrow for the Champions League game on Paramount+. Plus. Take care. I have to admit that, when did I go? It wasn't last summer. It was the summer before. We went Orlando and Miami. It's up there as one of the best holidays I've ever been on, to be honest. Yeah, it was incredible. Great great weather. Very tropical. It's probably like Miami felt like the Caribbean in America. It had a very sort of Caribbean feel about it, you know. I like it. I like it there. Big up Lawrence A. Curtis. I've been a silent listener for 3 years. Such an honour to comment today. Lawrence never stops commenting, you know what I mean? Big him up. Even blames me for transfers, but nah, it's good. It's all good, people. Right, let's get into the news. Hope everyone's well. Hope everyone's safe. And hope everyone's ready for the game tomorrow night. But before we get into the Champions League, let's talk about the FA Cup. I mean, I don't know what Arteta's done, but everything seems to be aligning. I mean, if you don't finish the job from here, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's still a long way to go because realistically, Carabao Cup, you've got to beat Man City. FA Cup, eventually we might have to beat Man City. Champions League, you're going to have to beat maybe a Barca and a Bayern or maybe a City again. But these draws, they couldn't be any better if Arteta was doing the draw himself. I mean, yeah, you could say Port Vale at home would have been the ultimate dream, but Southampton, oh my days, come on, man, come on. This ain't Southampton like Southampton Matt Letitia, you know. This is Southampton in the Championship. It is crazy. It is crazy, man. It's all aligning at the moment, man. Absolutely crazy. The FA Cup draw yesterday, and it was hilarious because for anybody who watched it, I was in the car, so I had to get it up on I think I watched it on TNT Sports YouTube channel, and Joe Hart and Joe Cole were doing the draw. So Joe Cole's all giddy. Oh yeah, Chelsea have got Port Vale, and then Joe Hart, he pulls out Manchester City. So obviously he's a former Man City player. So he's like, yeah, Man City are at home. I've hooked them up. And then he pulls out Liverpool and you're going, oh my, oh guys. Manchester City against Liverpool. Thank you very much. Get one of them out. So it is Southampton against Arsenal, Chelsea against Port Vale, Manchester City against Liverpool, and West Ham against Leeds United, people. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of people saying you're the luckiest team ever, the FA Cup draw. I think they said that Chelsea haven't played a Premier League team either. So they're all going, oh, Arsenal, you haven't had a Premier League team, but neither have Chelsea either. So let's not pretend like this hasn't happened to clubs as well. And also, people, the year that we won the FA Cup in 2020, we beat Sheffield United away, quarter-final. They were Premier League at the time. Then you've got Man City in the semi-final, Pep's Man City, who were flying, and then Chelsea in the final. So we've won before without having an easy route to the final. In fact, the one before that, we beat Man City in the semi-final. Alexis Sanchez, extra time. And then we beat Chelsea in the final when Diego Costa scored for them and Ramsey for us. So, listen, man, I feel like when I get messages like you're the luckiest team, people are saying it's a fix. I'm like, bro, there ain't nothing that you can say right now that is going to take me off this plan of action that I'm on. I've seen Shamak. I've seen Almunia. I've seen Andre Santos. I've seen Renarsson. I've seen Sanchez playing the piano at Man United. I've seen Van Persie doing knee slides in a Man United shirt. We deserve this. We deserve this. So what? We got a few easy FA Cup draws. How much pain you want me to go through? We deserve this. Joe Cole was fuming. They were all fuming. Please, Mikel, genuinely. Please, Mikel, take advantage of this season because I don't believe you are ever going to see a season like this, what we are seeing at the moment. The 10th of March, top of the Prem, 7 points. Southampton in the quarterfinal of the FA Cup. You're in the Carabao Cup final and you've got Leverkusen, then Bodo Glimt or Sporting to get to a Champions League semi-final. Come on, man, please. Surely, you got to take a couple of them trophies home, man. There's 2 big ones, 2 smaller ones. You got to at least get one of each. At least bring me a Carabao Cup and a league title. But it's unbelievable. But listen, semi-finals at Wembley. So if we beat Southampton, we go to Wembley again. Yeah, there will be another draw for the semi-final. So we don't know who we're going to play in the semi-final. Obviously, being realistic, Chelsea should beat Port Vale, so they'll be there. City, Liverpool, hard to tell. You'd probably make City favourites at home, but then will Pep rotate? Who knows? Maybe not. West Ham Leeds is hard to call as well. West Ham in a relegation battle, so, but again, you'd think a Wembley trip would boost their confidence. So we should be going to Wembley for, again, Carabao Cup final, FA Cup semi-final, then obviously, hopefully, FA Cup final, and then hopefully Charity Shield as well. You know what I mean? Community Shield. So, come on, man. Gervinho, Andre Santos, Chuba Akpom. Yeah, I don't like the semi-finals at Wembley. I think it takes away the magic of the final and the Wembley trip, but it's money, innit? It's money, you know. What was it before? Villa Park, Hillsborough or Old Trafford. Play at Villa Park, 45,000. You play at Wembley, 80,000. The money is different. It's all about, like we said yesterday, people, it's all about the money. It's all about the money. Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar, dollar bill, yo. You know what I mean? From then, it's all about the money, people. You know what I mean? Big up Elliot Curtis. It's our time. Enjoy it. I'm trying. It's like me, myself, and Irene, right? What's the guy's name? Hank, and you got Charlie. Half of me saying, bro, don't fall for it. You've seen Arsenal doing well before. Don't let yourself get caught up in the emotions. Arteta's going to let you down and you're going to be furious. The other half of me saying, bro, this could be the best season you've ever seen. Enjoy it, embrace it, be shameless, buy the merch, talk with chess, do all of it. Every day it's like an argument, you know. We win a big game, I go, right, that's it. I'm going to the Armoury. We're going to win everything. The next day we draw with Forest, we draw with Brentford, we draw with Wolves. I say, take the merch back, keep the receipt. I ain't going to no games, Arsenal therapy. And that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at, people. I want to be shameless. I want to go crazy, but we've seen it before. So until I said, until I see this manager lifting the trophy above his head, that's the only point that I will fully let myself go this season. I can't quite do it. But yeah, it would be rude not to dream. I am dreaming. Don't get me wrong. I'm sitting there thinking, yo, could we win the Champions League and the Prem? But then I'm like, when it comes to crunch time, and we will have crunch time this season, there will be games where you go, wow, our back's against the wall. Can we deal with this? That's when I start to feel concerned. But let's see. Let's see, man. Hopefully, I don't just want to see win the dog at the front of the team photo next season. I need to see at least, I need to see 2 trophies for me. Every time you start to go shameless, the team returns to PTSD. I'm just hoping they're over it now. You know, we go on a little run, then we have a stupid result. I just don't think we can afford another one of them. We got to get to it now. Next Sunday is the first step. I hear you, Ash. I hear you, but it's game by game. Beat Leverkusen tomorrow. Take some pressure off next week. Everton at home's a massive game. You know, I know on paper we'll look at that and go, Everton at home will beat them. We drew 0-0 with Everton at home last year. I went to that game. One of the very few games that I went to last year was Everton at home because it was around Christmas and I thought, yeah, they're not very good. We'll beat them 3 or 4-0. And we drew 0-0. That's a dangerous game. But listen, I want every Arsenal fan to believe it and enjoy it and embrace it. But just make sure you've got your shield there to protect yourself just in case. But no, why should we not at least be a little bit excited? And also, Manchester City now with this Liverpool game have got this crazy, crazy run of fixtures that is coming up, people. And surely this Manchester City don't handle this. The only thing is, out of these 7 games, there's only actually 3 Premier League games. 4 of them are in cup competitions. But Pep Guardiola and Man City, their next 7 games in all competition. Real Madrid away tomorrow night in the Champions League. West Ham away this weekend in the league. That'll be tricky. West Ham won last night and won at the weekend. Then they've got Real Madrid at home in the return leg next Tuesday. Next weekend, they play Carabao Cup final against us. Then they play Liverpool in the FA Cup. Then Chelsea away in the Premier League. And then Arsenal at home in the Premier League. That is an absolute horror of a 7-game run. There isn't one game there that I think they can ease off a little bit. The only way they'd be able to ease off a little bit is if they slap Real Madrid away from home and then he can rotate at home. But I don't think they will be able to do that. Lawrence, I completely agree with what you're saying here. Their January transfer window has kept them in the title race. I think we'd have won the league by now. I think the league would be over if Semenyo and Gay didn't sign for them in January, which is frustrating because you think, could we have signed Semenyo? Do you know what I mean? And taken him away from them. Gahey, obviously, we couldn't get him because he wanted guarantees of first team football. But yeah, their board have kept their heads above water because I think they'd be gone. Semenyo really has kept their heads above water while Haaland has had a little bit of a goal drought for them. And Gahey's just transformed their back four. They couldn't defend to save their lives. But I think this 7 games, if they come out of that, they will be absolutely flying. You know what I mean? If they beat Real Madrid, beat West Ham, win the Carabao Cup, knock out Liverpool, we're going to be going, yo, we're in big trouble. But if they drop points in some of these games, we could be flying. So, yeah, but we've obviously got to concentrate on ourselves. But you've got to keep one eye on Man City, haven't you? You just can't help yourself. Even with Gay and Semenyo, there's no excuse for Wolves, Man United, and Liverpool. 100%. Forest as well, bro. They just lost to Wrexham in the FA Cup, and we drew 0-0. But we are where we are. We are where we are now. I'm kind of at the point of saying, what can I do? I can't keep going over drop points. They should have won those games. We should be 10 points clear, 12 points clear. But it is what it is. We got to win it from this situation now. Ola said, City and Pool fans crying about the draw can do one. They've been whinging about the style of play, how their rivalry is the best. They should be happy. Exactly. Bro, I don't want to hear none of it. I mean, I only know about 2.5 Man City fans anyway. So when Man City fans moan, who cares? Like, a Man City fan complaining is just the most, like, ironic thing ever. Like, you've got 115 hanging over your head. You literally been financial doping for over a decade and you're complaining about an FA Cup draw. Bro, relax. Relax. And like I said on the flip side, people, for 10 years they've called us soft. Oh, you play good football under Wenger, but you're soft. You're weak. You get bullied. So we've gone, you know what? Let's buy 7 players who are 6 foot plus, who are physically strong, who can deal with the physicality of the Premier League. Now they're going, oh, your football's not entertaining enough. You're not entertaining me. I'm not being funny, people. We're not the cinemas. We don't welcome the fans into the cinemas and go, here's your popcorn, sit down and watch the movie. You're like, we ain't got Morgan Freeman playing left wing. Do you know what I mean? Leonardo DiCaprio at centre back. It's like we're here to be successful. I don't care how the football looks. I don't care, to be honest. I'd love it to be entertaining. Brazil 1970 with trophies. But the reality is, when you've gone over 2 decades without winning the league, just get over the finish line, bro. You know what I mean? That's all I'm interested in. Wenger's teams were super entertaining to watch. Look at Jack Wilshere's goal against Norwich. We were phenomenal. But we go to Stamford Bridge and get battered. Absolutely mauled. You know what I mean? Go to Old Trafford, get smoked. So, yeah, Keanu Reeves up front. You know what I'm saying, bro? They think we're the movies. They're going on, like, reviews going, oh, yeah, I just watched the Arsenal game. It didn't entertain me enough. All right, don't watch it then, mate. You know what I mean? I don't force myself to watch teams who I don't find entertaining. We need to win titles, bro. That's it. Ain't interested in none of it. Mourinho won playing boring football. Nothing was said about that. Exactly, bro. And my thing is this, right? I think if Mikel wins the league this year, I think he can then say, right, I've got that pressure off my shoulders. I've achieved something incredible now. Now I can say, right, let's take the shackles off. I think there's such a pressure weighing down our club that it's like, yo, we've got to win. It doesn't matter how ugly this looks. We've got to win. Once we get over the finish line and we've lifted titles and we're doing this, that, and the other, I think he can start saying, right, you know what? Take the pressure off us now. Let's start playing great football. And let's go and win this and let's go and win that. And I think at the moment it's, look, we've got to defend. Our defense is the thing at the moment that is going to get us over the finish line. Our attack is not very good. Let's be real. We've seen way better attacks than this. We are going to defend our way to silverware. It's not going to be pretty. It's going to be tough to watch. But it's all about the end goal. And that's all I think the manager is interested in. And then I think next season you go, okay, we get rid of Jesus. We get rid of Trossard. We get rid of maybe a Havertz or an Odegaard. And then you go, right, go and get me the left winger that transforms our front three. Go and make sure Eze now starts to be the player that we want him to be. And we can change things, you know. That's what I think. Because let's be real, this attack, this attack should be nowhere near the top of the Premier League. If we're being totally honest. Like, I've seen Arsenal finish. We finished 8th in Arteta's first 2 seasons. And I think the attack was better than this attack. Especially in the first season when we won the FA Cup. We had Pepe on the right, who was decent. Not amazing, but decent. We had prime Aubameyang. And we had like Lacazette as well. That front three, I think, is better than Arsenal's front three right now, to be honest. Prime Aubameyang is probably better than this whole front three by himself. Real talk. Like, Golden Boot winner in a team that finished 8th. So if we win the league, it's the defence that is the reason. And the midfield doing that work rate as well and protecting. You know what I mean? If our attack was firing, again, we'd be 12, 14 points clear. You know, but is what it is. It's all about trophies this year. Then next year, let's start to say, right, can we become a great team now? That's where I'm at with it. I don't care what any of the ops say. I don't care about none of them. We know our club more than anyone else. We had Alexis and Walcott. Exactly. Still didn't win nothing. You know what I mean? We had prime Alexis Sanchez. Big up Omar, who said, big up Big C, straight out of Kingston, Jamaica. Arsenal needs to win the Prem. Everything will change after that. 100%, bro. 100%. Once you get that first trophy, domino effect then. Plus, also, what that does, it gives you the ability to sign players that aren't even available. Do you know what I mean? Like, we were talking about Kvara yesterday. And I was saying, I don't think you can get Kvara out of PSG. He looks very happy there. I've read some stories saying he's settled. But all of a sudden, if you win a Premier League or you win a Champions League, you can get players that you didn't even think was available. Do you know what I mean? We're sitting here going, who's available in the summer? You win a Champions League, it ain't about who's available. It's about, can you kick the door down and take one of their best players off them? Do you know what I mean? You're in a whole different market if you go and win a Champions League or a Premier League. So I think the dynamics of this club will totally change if we win a title or a Champions League or both. Dynasty like Chicago Bulls, yeah, I'm telling you, bro. I want Arsenal to get into a situation where when the best players in the world are available, we're in the conversation. We all knew that Haaland was leaving Dortmund that year. We weren't even in the conversation. We didn't even make an offer for him. It cost like 65 million because we knew we couldn't. Mbappe was leaving. We couldn't even make a... I want Arsenal to be like, yo, Vinicius is leaving Real Madrid. I want Arsenal to make an offer. Lamine, not Lamine. Lamine's got $1 billion. But you know what I'm saying? I want Arsenal to be in that bracket where when those top players are available, our name's in the convo. Even if we can't do it, I want to hear that Arsenal made an offer for Haaland or those kind of players. That's where we need to get to. I think we can get Alvarez this summer, but I think he might end up at Barcelona. That's the problem. Drogba used to spam headers against us for years. Drogba was like Debo, wasn't he? It was the playground bully, you know. He'd turn up and rob Senderos and then, man, big up Senderos, though. He supports the channel, but Drogba was a menace to us, I can't lie. I feel like this Arsenal might have been able to cope with Drogba, but that soft little getting your bellies tickled Wenger team, he Debo'd us every other week, man. You know what I mean? Just, it was horrible. We'll play beautiful football next season. I think we will, bro. I think we'll sign top players in the summer and we'll go to another level if we win big trophies. Lewis says it'll be a big achievement if Arteta does win a big trophy. Credit where it's due. Premier League, FA Cup, and whatever else in his first job. Do you know what? Right, honestly, I'm just going to say this as well. You know, if Arteta wins the Champions League or he wins the Premier League, even though I stand by the fact that I think he's underachieved so far. I think if you go to Arsenal and get over $1 billion in 6 years, you should win more than one FA Cup. I do. Ten Hag won a Carabao and an FA Cup. But if Arteta wins the Premier League or the Champions League, I'll give him huge credit, to be honest. Even though I think success has taken longer than it should have taken, and we made a lot of mistakes, particularly with some of the transfers, I will give him huge credit because no matter what you do in your life, if it's the first time you've been in that job, I think if you win one of the top trophies, you've got to give a huge amount of credit for that. You know, a lot of managers never win a league title. You know, Emery's never won a title in the Premier League anyway. I know he won it at PSG. Not many managers win the Premier League, and we've had a lot of great managers here. Do you know what I mean? Klopp won one Premier League with one of the most ferocious Liverpool front threes you've probably ever seen. So I think if he wins the Prem, it's amazing. If he wins the Champions League, I think he becomes an Arsenal legend overnight. To say I've done something that Wenger didn't do in over 20 years, you know. People always say to me, I think they even said it on Forever yesterday, do you want the Champions League or the Prem? Me personally, I would take the Champions League ahead of the Premier League. I get why people want the league, because I think it proves you're the best team, 38 games, dominate your own country. But I want that star above the badge. You know, I do. I'm sick of people in Europe saying, you know, champions of Europe, you'll never sing that. And I agree with you. There's an element that says we could win both of them. You know, I'll be real. You can win both this season. It's wide open. Tapper said, Curtis, did you watch the Bale interview? Football has changed and puppeteer. Arsenal is at the top of the league, not based on talent, but on the best puppeteer. What is your thoughts on that? I did watch the Bale interview on the Overlap, and actually, I thought it was a fantastic interview. And you know what? He's one of them players, Bale, that we all know how good he is, or was, sorry, because he's retired. You know, when you watch like his clips back, you go, hang on a minute, like he's one of the best wingers that we've seen in this generation. He's at Real Madrid. He is absolutely incredible. At Tottenham in that last year and a half he was as well, when he just rinsed Maicon. But I think Gareth Bale is, he might be the best Welsh player of all time. I'll be honest with you. Man United fans might not like that because of Ryan Giggs, but I think Gareth Bale is a phenomenal footballer. Phenomenal. Some of his goals, you're like, wow, I can't believe. For a player that tall to be that quick, that powerful, left foot, right foot headers, free kicks, 5 Champions Leagues. I think he's the best Welsh player of all time. You could put him up there as one of the best British players of all time. He'd be up there. He's a phenomenal player. Edu is a massive reason Mikel has no trophies. Maybe. It's difficult, innit, Sniper, because how much responsibility did he have on those transfers? But when you see what he's done with Forest, guy was an absolute scrub. Best places and pubs to go before the game. Do you know what? I'm not really on the pub thing too much. If I am going to go to one, I go to the Tollington. That'll be the one. But there are other pubs. There's a nice Jamaican takeaway called Yum Yums. What I always say to people who go to Arsenal games, right, unless you're sitting in like club level or the Diamond Club, if you've got a regular ticket, do not get food in the stadium. The food is terrible. You know, you get some £20 chicken burger or a £10 slice of pizza. You do not want that. Go Yum Yums or somewhere like that. Get some nice Jamaican food. You know what I mean? £10, £12, you're good to go. You know? Right, let me get into some of these stories. Wow, more waffle. No, I did start one of the stories though, didn't I? I haven't just waffled for half an hour. Let's talk about Lucifer said, I can't comment on YouTube. Did you block me? Master of Disaster. There's no way you should be blocked. Do you know what's so difficult now, right? When people get blocked, sometimes their name doesn't show up on the block list. One of the mods might have blocked you and then I can't unblock people. Drop me an email if anyone ever gets blocked. CurtisShawTV@hotmail.com. Tell me your YouTube name and I'll try and sort it out. It's hard to do though. The burgers are like rustlers. They're shocking, mate, honestly. Don't buy no food in that Emirates. You know what I mean? You're just going to spend money on bang average food. Good news for Arsenal today, people, in terms of team news. The training session was streamed live on YouTube and on the Arsenal website. So if you do like watching those things, then feel free to go back and have a look at that. But the news that has come out today is very good news. Arsenal today, Zubimendi, Saliba, Gabriel and Declan Rice were in training. Trossard and Calafiori also trained today, which is absolutely brilliant news, people. Brilliant, especially Saliba. No disrespect to Trossard and Calafiori. Arguably, they wouldn't have started this game anyway. Maybe Trossard. Martinelli didn't play very well at the weekend, but then Trossard didn't either. But Zubimendi and Rice obviously were rested at the weekend, Gabriel as well. But to see Saliba on the training ground is a massive boost ahead of that game, Everton, and then obviously the return leg next weekend. I would say approach with caution, by the way. I'm not necessarily desperate for Saliba to play tomorrow, even though he's back on the training ground. I know we've been talking on forever for the last few weeks. You know, Lee was saying that Declan Rice should be rested for tomorrow. I said, look, he's had a week off. There's no injury problem. He's got to play. It's a Champions League knockout stage away from home. But Saliba, I would approach with caution. You know, ankle injuries can be difficult. You know, the ankle is an injury that can just go quite easily. Sometimes you need to give it time to strengthen. So I wouldn't be totally against not playing him tomorrow. I know some of you go, yeah, but I think because I don't think Declan Rice can be rested, and he's just had a week off and he isn't coming back from an injury. Saliba is coming back from an injury, and I think we can get away with Mosquera and Gabriel. So personally, even though he's back in training, I wouldn't be against Saliba not playing tomorrow. And then maybe you bring him back in for Everton at the weekend. And then if you've done the business against Leverkusen tomorrow, maybe you can leave him out of Leverkusen next week. I don't know. I think you've got to be very cautious with him. And Arteta said this is the other ankle. So effectively, he's injured both of his ankles throughout this season. So yeah, but what do you guys think? Let me know what you think. But great news. Cam said, call me crazy. I'm resting Zubi again. Completely plain Norgard, Eze and Rice. The only thing I would say, Cam, and a few people have said this, because let's be real, Zubimendi has not actually played that well in recent weeks. If we're being totally honest, he's looked a bit off it defensively. The only thing I would say is that Zubimendi seems to play quite well in the Champions League. It's more possession-based, less physical. You would think that game suits him more than Norgard. So I'll be honest, if I was picking the team tomorrow, I probably would play Zubimendi, to be honest. Man said, no, bro, honestly, I don't have anything against Zubimendi. I think he's actually been one of our best signings this season. I just think he gets found out a little bit defensively against more physical teams. I think everybody's seen that, but we can all see his quality when we're dominating possession, which is why I think we need another profile of player in midfield next season. A Tonali would be brilliant. Very interesting, no Ben White or Martin Odegaard. Now, I'm telling you now, somebody today, please ask him about Odegaard in the press conference, because it's just too hush-hush. It's like, why is he not... When a player's injured, every other press conference, they question him. When's Saliba going to be back? When's this player going to be back? With Odegaard, they've all gone quiet. It's almost like they're being told in the press conference, don't mention Odegaard, which is strange. Like, apparently he had a recurrence of his knee injury and it kept him out, but he's now been out for a couple of weeks. So how bad is it? We need details, bro. Like, what's going on? So it is strange. Did you see Bale's STF? Always liked him, even though he played for Spurs. He talks good and very level-headed. He confirmed Zidane's style just risen. I love it, bro. Love it. The interview was fantastic. The way he was saying, like, yeah, Zidane, like, yeah, you don't even really train. Like, just keep ticking over, do some keep ball, do some fitness. Zidane knew, I don't need to coach Cristiano Ronaldo. I don't need to coach Luka Modric. I don't need to coach Karim Benzema. They are elite level footballers. I remember seeing an interview with Frank Rijkaard. He said there was nothing that he could teach Ronaldinho. He said there was nothing that I could teach him as a coach. I had to just keep him fit in training. That was it. Like, Zidane knew what time it was, you know? And then he said Ancelotti was like the ultimate father figure, the best like man manager. He knew exactly how to motivate you. Those kind of... That's why I always love Zinedine Zidane, by the way. You know, I love Zidane. I'm not sure Zidane would have worked at Arsenal. The only thing I would say with Zidane is I think Zidane needs elite players. I think he needs elite footballers that he doesn't really have to coach, which is why I think he hasn't looked for a job elsewhere. He's like, nah, I ain't got time to, fix your team. I want ballers who are just ready to go. What do you guys think is happening, by the way, with Martin Odegaard? Do you think it is just a knee injury? There's a lot of conspiracy theories. He's took time off. Arsenal trying to get rid of him. But leaving a player out doesn't help you get rid of somebody, really. All you're going to do is damage his price. But I don't know. Zidane has unmatched aura, yeah. Listen, Zidane for me is one of the greatest footballers of all time. I just think I've never seen a player like him. He's yeah, even as a manager, just got the same aura. He posted on Twitter he's back in training. Okay. Zidane is one of the most respected figures ever in football. Players know what time it is. Exactly. Exactly. Listen, my opinion of Odegaard remains the same, people. I'd sell him in the summer. And that some people find it really harsh when you say that because they think, yeah, but Odegaard was a good player for us and he's the captain and he's still only 27 and he loves the club. Nah. The reality of the situation is that to bring in top players, you've got to create space in your squad. You've got to create space on your wage bill. That's football. You can't just add to what you've got. We want top players this summer, which means high-earning players are going to have to come off the wage bill. So that means you might have to get rid of Trossard, you might have to get rid of Odegaard, Gabriel Jesus, Havertz, Martinelli. Those five in particular for me. If you got good offers for those players, I would all five of them I'd be open to selling. Sam said, no way I'm selling Odegaard. Give me your explanation why. I'm always intrigued. What makes you feel like you're saying no way? Like, why would you definitely not sell Odegaard? I'm always intrigued to hear both sides of it. Ben White, for me, is a player where if I sold him, I'd sell him reluctantly. I think he's actually a very good player. But the problem with Ben White now is he's injured too much. And the reality is, when you keep a player and say he's a good squad player, but he's never in your squad, that means he's not a good squad player. For years, we said, keep Tomiyasu, man, he's a good squad player, but he was always injured. So ultimately, he's not a good squad player because he's not even on the bench. So I think Ben White, as I said, the conversation I had was that I think Ben White is sort of looking to leave possibly himself because he's frustrated. Lucifer said, Martinelli 190, Odegaard 240, Jesus 265, Havertz 275, Benny 130, Trossard 130. Come on, man. I mean, you're talking what? You're at over £1 million there in wages. I think personally, out of them, I think Havertz will be here next season. I don't know with Odegaard. Don't know what's going on. I think Jesus will be gone. I think Ben White will be gone. I think Trossard will be gone. With Havertz, Odegaard, Martinelli, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. He loves Havertz, man. And I'm not sure clubs will be banging down the door to sign him. He's had a big knee injury and a big hamstring injury. So we'll see. We'll see. Listen, Ben White was brilliant. I was a big fan of Ben White, but let's be real. We went up another level with Timber. We're saying Timber with Hakimi and Reece James, top 3 right back in the world. We weren't really saying that about Ben White, but I did rate Ben White highly. And I wish he wasn't injury prone because I think he's fantastic squad rotation. I did see SGA's winner, 2 seconds to go. Yeah, he's so clutch, isn't he? He's so clutch. I don't want OKC to win it this year, though. I just don't want to see it. Today's inflation means that squad players are making minimum 100k. It's the richest league in the world. Yeah, I mean, I saw that Gravenberch's new deal is like nearly 300 grand a week. He's had one good year at Liverpool and he's getting a deal on nearly 300 grand. Football inflation is insane right now, what these players are getting. It really is. Speaking of what players are getting, this is a good question though, Gid. Big C, if a club offered 60 for Gyökeres, would you take it? I wouldn't take it because I want Arsenal to have two very good strikers. I think that can be the benchmark. My thing with Gyökeres is he might end up on the bench if you get a better striker. If you sell him, you're back to square one. And then who do you buy? You buy Alvarez, and then I would rather sell Havertz, sell Jesus, you might get 60 million or 50 million. Then you've got Gyökeres, and then you add. I think it's too dangerous to just go after one season. Yeah, he's not good enough. Get rid of him. What if he goes on a hot streak and starts banging goals in next season? We've given Havertz 3 years. What the hell was that, by the way? We're giving Havertz 3 years. That just popped up on the screen. Havertz got 3 years, but Gyökeres, you're giving him 6 months and it's game over. Come on, man. Give him one more season before we write him off. I'm open to the fact that we could go and buy another striker in the summer. Do you know what I mean? I'll take another striker, but I don't think I'd sell him. I don't think I'd sell him. Jochen Leao up top. This manager wouldn't go for Leao, would he? He's scared of Leao. But one player that I hope we don't sign, but we're being linked with, is Leon Goretzka. No. Arsenal, let me get this off the screen, people. Arsenal are currently leading the race for Leon Goretzka. It's indeed true from Goretzka's point of view. Arsenal didn't make an offer for him in January, but they did signal that they were aware he was considering a move away from Bayern. The player's goal is to move to the Premier League. He would love to play for Arsenal. Of course, he can't guarantee Arsenal will come back in the summer with a concrete offer. In his heart, he feels this would be a perfect next club. For me, this is a no. I'm going to be real. Goretzka is a player that I have rated over the years. You know, I remember when we lost to Bayern Munich and him and Musiala were ripping our midfield apart. But no, not in 2026. He's just turned 31. When did Bayern Munich let a top quality German international player run down his contract? If Bayern Munich are letting him walk out of the door for nothing, best believe there is something not right with him. You know what I mean? It's like signing, it's like buying a car and oil's leaking from the bottom of it. I mean, come on. No, come on. The engine's rattling. No. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I'd have been all over this deal on a free. Bring him. Now? No. Why do you think, just read into this, the player's goal is to move to the Premier League? Why? Why do you think Goretzka, all of a sudden at the age of 31, is desperate to come to the Premier League? Money. That's the only reason. He don't dream of the Premier League. He's been in Germany for years. He ain't interested. He wants the bag. I don't want him. Bring Tonali. Bring Anderson. Bring Wharton. I want a player that's on the up, not on the way to the retirement home, as Cam said. This is the kind of signing that Edu was making 3 years ago. Yeah, go and get Willian. Go and get Goretzka. They're big names. Yeah, but you do realise they're pensioners. Yeah, but still sign them. We'll PR them. Nah. Leave this brother alone. 2 years ago, I would have done that deal. Not now, bro. Leave that well alone. And what kind of... He's on massive wages. I remember we checked last time. 13 million euros a year. Do me a favour. If we sign this guy, we are insane if we sign this guy. Send him to Saudi or something. We don't need him. We want players on the up. Hunger. He'd just be in the Norgard sort of... Listen, if we'd signed him a year ago on a free and we didn't have Norgard, you go, well, it's an upgrade on Jorginho as that squad player. You don't buy him now, man. Come on. 123 said, what do you think on Arda Güler and Kenan Yildiz? Of course, it will be a lot of millions. I don't think you can get Arda Güler out of Real Madrid now. He plays a lot, and obviously Rodrigo's injured. So, but Yildiz, yeah, I'm a big fan of him. I'm a big fan. I think he's gettable as well. You know, I know a lot of people going, yeah, he's just signed a new deal. I don't think that deal will count for much. You might have to pay an extra 10, 15 million to get him. But I think you can get him. And Juventus are not having a good season either. So they've just been knocked out of the Champions League. So, yeah, I think he's very, very gettable. Wow. Seeing here, Rodrigo will be out until 2027. In fact, no, why am I saying wow? He's done his ACL, yeah. So we're 3 months in. Yeah, you'd expect 10 to 12 months minimum. Missed the World Cup, and I think obviously clubs like Arsenal now will look elsewhere because even when he comes back from that injury, Rodrigo, you're going to have to give him maybe half a season to see if he recovers from it. So, yeah. Goretzka's a no for me. Don't know what you guys think. Is there anybody in the chat, by the way, that would take him? That just thinks, look, good experienced player. He's a free. He'd be a good squad player. Is there anybody that would actually take him? But I just think I've watched Goretzka a little bit, man. I just don't think I don't think he's hungry anymore, which is why all of a sudden he wants Premier League money. You know. I mean, he's 31, but do you know what? It's not the age that puts me off him. You can be 31 and be a smart signing on a free. It's the lack of hunger and the injuries that I don't want him. That's the reason I don't want him at Arsenal. Him being 31 is not the reason I'm saying no, by the way. There's 31-year-olds that I would take if they were still balling out, but I don't think we need him. I think we need somebody who's on the way. I'd bring Tonali, man. I want Tonali. I actually think we might need two centre mids, but it's probably not realistic. Got to trust Berta. He loves an older free transfer. Well, yeah, that's the thing. He likes those kind of signings at Atletico Madrid, and Barcelona have signed a lot of players over the years like that as well. Big up Dre. Mr. Big said Bale is the greatest British player of all time. That's a different discussion. I'd have to think about that, really. Is he better than Rooney? There'll be people who've been watching for a long time who would talk about George Best and Bobby Charlton and older generations like that. I don't know. It'd be a good discussion. Paul Gascoigne. I think where the argument is he's achieved so much in Europe, which a lot of these other players haven't, and he's played for the biggest club in the world and dealt with that competition. That's a hard club to be at for so long. He had that right-hand side of midfield on lock for years. It's a good discussion. You know what? International break, that's a content idea to speak on. I have to admit, man, when you see his goals, I haven't seen many English or British players score goals at that level. I'll be real. There aren't many that have had that kind of career. Is he bigger than Beckham? I would say he's not bigger than Beckham as a brand, but I think as a player, he's better than him. I think Bale's better than David Beckham as a footballer. When you look at what he achieved, what he did, the way he dragged Wales into European competitions, I think Bale, Beckham was like a movie star as well. And he scored in Champions League final. He scored a bicycle. Man scored a bicycle kick in a Champions League final against Liverpool. Like, he's crazy. He's crazy. And he even scored the header against Atletico. Do you know what I mean? Man scored in Champions League final. You know what? That is a fantastic... I'm going to write this down, by the way. Because during the international break, I want us to sort of take our mind off Arsenal a little bit, even though we'd have just finished the Carabao Cup final. So we'll either be having a meltdown or we'll be celebrating. Let's just briefly look ahead to tomorrow night's game. For me, the team picks itself. But maybe you guys have got some discussion points. David Raya in goal, of course. Back four, I think, picks itself. I think, in fact, oh yeah, that makes sense, don't it? Put Gabriel at left back. What am I doing here? I'm just thinking, would I play Saliba? What am I doing here? I've just put David Raya at centre back. It's been a long week. It's been a long week, people. He plays like a centre back at times anyway, so bear with me. I've got David Raya at centre back. Inverted goalkeeper, people. Oh, guys. Oh, guys. Do I play Saliba or Mosquera? He's just come back from an ankle injury. I don't think I'd play him. I don't think I'd play him. Got a Carabao Cup final next week, man. I wouldn't play him. Ankle injuries, they're too... I've had ankle injuries before, man. You come back, you can roll your ankle quite easily. couple of weeks out. He's missing the Carabao Cup final. I wouldn't play him. I think Mosquera's good enough in the Champions League with Gabriel. In that back four, Mosquera will look solid. He looked shaky at the weekend. I wouldn't play him. I wouldn't risk him. Give him a few more days at least. And maybe I wouldn't even play him against Everton, but maybe Everton I would play him. But I wouldn't play him tomorrow night. No chance, in fact, the more I think about it. Will he play him? Probably. Probably he will. Zubimendi, I'd play him. Champions League, I think that style suits him. Declan Rice, I'd play him. Him and Zubi have had a week off. Not a week off as in no game, but a week. Well, they'd have been on the training ground anyway. A week off, yeah, with no game, but they would have trained. But hopefully they'd have had days off. Eze plays. It's your time now, Eze, for me. I'm looking at Eze now going, come on, bro. You got to stop messing around having 2 good games, then you're quiet, then you get dropped, then Havertz and Odegaard. Eze now needs to hold down that attacking midfield position and put Arteta in a mind frame that you cannot drop this guy because he is a match winner. He has got that magic. He is a player that you would pay to watch when he's playing well. He needs to hold down that position now. Finish this season as a hero. Complete the story. This is why we were all so excited. Not just because we were signing a great player. It was because we said, can you imagine Eze helping us win the Premier League? 22 years and you're a boyhood Arsenal fan. Come on. Yeah, obviously I play Saka, Champions League. But I'll be honest with you, people. Gyökeres plays up front as well. Part of me is thinking this left-hand side is... I've broke the glass. The fire alarm's going off. We might have to do an intervention here, people. It's like we're accepting, we've got to pick Trossard or Martinelli. I'm now at the point, I don't know if we pick any of them. They're stinking out the place. Part of me thinks maybe you play Martinelli tomorrow just because of his Champions League record. And he is going to play one of them. But part of me thinks, do I play Noni? Do I play Max? Do I play Jesus? I'm sick of watching them two play. They stink. Their performances stink. Surely they can't do any worse. He won't do it, but why not? Could you not play Max Dalman and get him drift him off the left? Don't have to hug the touchline. Drift in central. Put Noni on the left. Or put Saka on the left and play Noni on the right. Do something different, please. They genuinely can't do any worse, Timsy. These men, every week I'm going, one of the worst winger performances I've ever seen. 0 out of 10. Week after, Trossard played like he's steaming. Stellar Trossard, 0 out of 10. I'd rather play Max Dalman. Genuinely. But he won't. Let's be real. I think he will play Martinelli. Because of his Champions League record and because of the fact that Trossard came off with a knock, I think that will be the team. He might play Saliba, though. Don't be surprised. Because he is more than capable. If you can walk, you're fit in the eyes of this manager. So do not be surprised if Saliba starts tomorrow. I wouldn't play him. I wouldn't play him. Also, the other thing you could do, you could move Eze to the left and put Havertz in the attacking midfield role. He was linking up well with Gyökeres, but I think Eze deserves game time in his best role. And also, Havertz only just come back from injury. Hasn't looked that sharp yet, so I wouldn't do that. You could play in Capie or Calafiori centre-back. Yeah, possibly. I'd trust Mosquera. I know he was poor at the weekend, but... Oh, guys, big up Hannah. Mr. said Madrid didn't start winning Champions Leagues again until he got there. And bear in mind, they went a long time. Where, even like the R9 and Zidane. Well, Zidane won a Champions League, but R9 never won a Champions League at Real Madrid, which is crazy. I'm willing to play Salmon left wing at this point. Bro, I'm telling you, man. I'm sort of... The only thing that gets Martinelli a sneaky start tomorrow is, number one, you've got a good Champions League record. Number two, German sides tend to play with a high line. And Martinelli is good against a high line. Although I am thinking he's a very good impact sub against tired legs. So part of me thinks you don't even start him. But then I don't want Trossard playing. If you forced me right now and said Trossard or Martinelli, one of them's got to play, I play Martinelli. Just because of the pace, the high line, the Champions League record. But I would genuinely possibly leave both of them out of the team the way they're playing, and do something different. But I go for Martinelli just for the pace. It'll put them on the back foot. But that would be my team. But maybe if Martinelli was struggling, I wouldn't necessarily go for Trossard. That's where I would say, you know what, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to put Noni on. I'm going to put, not Trossard, I'm going to put Max on. Let him go, man. I don't care how old Max Dowman is. Play him. You know, imagine if Barcelona held back Lamine Yamal. Oh, he's only 16. Right now, he's one of the best players in world football. I don't care how old he is. Just a quick scouting mission by Leverkusen. This was their team at the weekend. They drew 3-3 with Freiburg, and they play a back three, which I watched the extended highlights of the game. Listen, I'm committed to the cause, but I ain't watching a Bayer Leverkusen against Freiburg game for 90 minutes. Extended highlights, 12 minutes. Hog said, bro, your mods blocked my other account. I simply agreed, Bailey's. See, bro, honestly, send me an email, please. I don't know. What's the name of your other account? I'll try and sort it. I watched them play, and I'm telling you now, the key to winning this game is our wide players, which is why I'm so sort of insistent that our wingers need to turn up tomorrow, because it's their weakness. And if our wingers don't turn up, you're going to cause a problem. What I noticed, they pack the midfield. They almost play, if you look at this shape, with like this square in midfield. So you got Garcia and Fernandez as two DMs, and then they play this guy, Terrier and Mazza, as two attacking midfielders. So they've almost got four in midfield. So they try and dominate the midfield. So that's sort of their strength, is the midfield, because there's so many numbers in there. They've then got Grimaldo, who's a very good wing back, and they've got Poku, who's a good wing back. But they've obviously got this back three that looks very weak, if I'm being honest. Tapsoba, Andrić, and Kwanzaa are not bad individually, but as a three, they can be got at. What happens is Kwanzaa gets dragged out into like a right back position, and Tapsoba was getting dragged out into left back, and there was just massive gaps in their defence. If you can get Eze forward and get him in those little pockets, keep Gyökeres high, get Saka high, get Martinelli high, we can smoke them. And they do play a high line as well. I mean, I'm telling you now, I think we're going to get chances to score tomorrow. The midfield's going to be key. You know, you're hoping Zubimendi and them don't get overrun because they've got numbers in there. One of their best players is Patrick Schick, the striker, who is injured at the moment. Obviously, their press conference is coming out today, so I don't know how long he's out for, although apparently there has been an update. Let me try and see this. Patrick Schick, who a lot of you remember, he scored that halfway line goal for Czech Republic. I think, was it against Scotland? Are they saying Patrick Schick was spotted in training on Tuesday? He had a muscular injury that kept him out of the last two games, but he did train with the squad on Tuesday. So you'd expect him to be playing, and he is a decent striker. I'm not going to lie, he's a good finisher. But yeah, they concede chances is what I'm saying. So I actually think there's an opportunity to go and beat them tomorrow. I really do. When you think we've beaten teams like Inter Milan away from home, I'd say Inter are better than Leverkusen. But obviously, you've got to respect them. 2 years ago, they were the best team in Germany, even though their team has been obliterated since that point. We are going to have to be respectful. There's a good atmosphere there. And like I said, they pack the midfield. And that's where the game could sort of be won and lost if they can dominate. But they are very weak at the back. Big up to everyone locked in. Really appreciate your support. There's no press conference reaction today. Champions League press conferences this evening. I'm out tonight, but I wouldn't mind doing a watch along for one of those games. If not, we'll do a double watch along tomorrow. Arsenal is 5:45. And then I'm going to do the Real Madrid Man City game at 8 o'clock straight after. If I get back in time tonight, I wouldn't mind doing... Which game would I even watch? probably go Newcastle, Barcelona. Then I wouldn't mind seeing Tottenham get smoked, but nah, I've got to watch Lamine Yamal. So we'll see. Keep the notifications on, but if not, definitely it'll be a double tomorrow. Big up to everyone locked in. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you all soon, people.